लो
Written all this note outside family.
All right, good evening all of you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sanjay Singh and you're all welcome to today's edition of SaleskiPathshala. The topic that we have taken up in today's program is something very special. We are going to talk about value bomb in sales. Before we move forward, it's important for me to educate all of you that I'm right now on a caller mic, so your sound output is cut off from me. So the only way that you can interact with me is through the chat box. So I request you to please go to the chat box and type hello for me so that I know that I'm audible to you, I'm visible to you. So please go and type hello in the chat box. All right, so Vishal, Sanjay Agarwal, you're welcome. Josefa, all the way from Qatar, I suppose. You're welcome, Josefa. All right, great. Wonderful. It's exactly 1 minute past 4. And as we have promised to you, every Wednesday, SaleskiPathshala, we come to you live from 4 to 5 p.m. As people would still be joining in bits and pieces, let's start. Value bomb in sales. What are we talking about? Diwali has crossed. Which bomb am I talking about? The primary premise on which today's program is based, if you look at the general discussion flow in today's program, so the first question that you have to ask yourself is, do you get inquiries which do not respond? So I'm sure you have done some campaign or the other in some part of your life, you have got inquiries, and by the time you make your first communication to an inquiry, the inquiry does not respond. You make a follow-up communication, the inquiry still does not respond. You make a third comment and still it doesn't respond. And you start wondering that, was it a false inquiry? Was it a fake inquiry? Or is it that the person is still just playing with your emotions? After all, why is he not responding, especially when the inquiry came on its own? And that's where we use value bombs. So this is the premise. Did you get inquiries? Do you get inquiries which do not respond? Why do they not respond despite the fact that they have inquired? What exactly is a value bomb? How do we make use of a value bomb? And what can we expect from value bombs in sales? So those are the 5 points that we will cover across today's program. If the setting of the program is very clear to all of you, can you please write yes in the chat box so that I know that you understand the context of the program? Yes, Josefa, I'm sorry I mentioned Qatar, but you're from Kuwait. Yes, thank you so much. All right, so the context of the program is very clear to all of you. And we are trying to discover a world where we know how to attack inquiries and how to solicit response from inquiries. Fantastic. Now, let me ask you some open-ended questions at this stage. The first open-ended question that I want to ask you is that, do you get inquiries which stop responding? Does it happen with you? Because if it is not happening with you, then maybe my topic today is out of context. So does it happen with you? Can you write a yes or no in the chat box? Okay, it happens with every salesperson. All right, it happens with everyone. So Jahir, Suvishal, Sanjay Agarwal, everyone, it happens with everyone. Okay, fantastic. Now, if you look at these 3 questions on the right-hand side of the screen, have you killed the inquiry's curiosity? Have you satisfied their curiosity, or are you irrelevant to their curiosity? Now let's understand the context. There is an inquiry which comes to you against a campaign of social media, or against a print media ad, or against a telephone call. Once the inquiry comes, there are some sales managers who dump the person with all possible information. So I know a lot of sales managers who will respond to an inquiry with a proposal, with a quotation, with a brochure, with a fact finding, with a white book, with the ebook, with a newsletter. And they feel very happy that, oh, I have bombarded this person with all possible information, and I'm sure I have impressed the customer by doing this. No, you have killed the person's curiosity. So please remember that if your first response to an inquiry, if you try to download everything possible, then the only thing that you do is you kill the curiosity, because apparently you have kind of answered each and every question of the customer, and the customer has understood the answer in their own perspective. Sometimes they understand it in your perspective, sometimes they have their own perspective, and their curiosity is killed. They park your inquiry at one corner and they stop responding to you. So do not kill a curiosity, do not satisfy a curiosity. Are the two golden rules at this stage. There are some times when your response is irrelevant to the curiosity. So let's assume that there is an incoming inquiry for a mobile phone, and I'm just taking an example. So the person asked for a high-end mobile phone. Now, in response, you send a list of 20 mobile phones, out of which 3 are high-end and 17 are mid-end and low-end. Now, what have you done? 17 out of 20 responses from your side is irrelevant. And the person feels that you are not worth it, because you are not even able to understand the incoming inquiry. If you appreciate these 3 questions which I have just put to you, I want to ask you a question. Are you guilty of one of these 3 crimes? Please go to the chat box and type a yes or no. Is each one of you guilty of one of these 3 crimes? So sometimes, have you killed a curiosity without knowing that you've done it? Or sometimes, have you fully satisfied a curiosity without knowing that you've done it? Or many a times, are you irrelevant? All right, I get some honest answers there from Jahir, from Sanjay Agarwal, from Suvishal. Fantastic, great, wonderful. Having understood thus far, this is a golden statement of mine. Curiosity kills silence. What do I mean by this? I mean that as long as you are able to maintain curiosity in the minds of the inquiry, it will continue to communicate with you. The moment curiosity is finished, there is no reason for the person on the other side to maintain links with you or to communicate with you. So there was one very famous ad which I had seen in the past, which said that cancer cures smoking. So earlier, all ads used to say that smoking causes cancer, but this particular ad said cancer cures smoking, because the moment you have cancer, you'll die. So automatically you'll give up your smoking habit. And that's a similar statement which I'm trying to make here. Curiosity kills silence. So the first lesson to be learned is, do not satiate or do not satisfy fully, or do not kill the curiosity of the person on the other side. So did you generate more curiosity in your communication? These are the 3 corollary questions which you have to ask yourself. An incoming inquiry came to you, and as a response to the incoming inquiry, did your response generate more curiosity? यानी कि इनकमिंग इंक्वायरी की क्यूरियोसिटी अगर 3 आउट ऑफ 10 थी, तो क्या आपके रिस्पॉन्स ने उसकी क्यूरियोसिटी को 5 आउट ऑफ 10 कर दिया, 7 आउट ऑफ 10 कर दिया? That's a good thing to happen. The second question you have to ask is, did you satisfy all curiosity in your communication? And of course, the answer is no, it should not be done. It's a crime. The third is, did your communication miss the curiosity of the person by a mile? Which means that did you fail to understand the nature of the inquiry? Fantastic. If you have understood all this, let me quickly take you to this question of value bomb. I need to communicate with a incoming inquiry with a value bomb. Now, as the name suggests, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me know from each one of you that have you heard this term first time or have you heard it before? So if it is first time, just write first time. Have you heard this term value bomb for the first time? I'm seeking response. Okay, Josefa says first time, Jahir says first time. Sanjay Agrawal says he has heard about it once before. All right, very interesting. All right, others are still thinking. All right. Oh, we still have people rolling into the program. Okay. There's someone called Tribs. I really don't know who is Tribs. Hello, Mr. Tribs. Can you quickly put your introduction in the chat box so that I know your background? Yeah, thank you. So coming back to value bomb. अगर मैं हिंदी में बताऊं तो वैल्यू बॉम्ब उस वैल्यू को बोलते हैं जो कस्टमर पढ़ने के बाद उसके दिमाग में एक बॉम्ब की तरह फूटे. You know, it should create an explosion in the minds of the customer, a positive explosion, not a negative explosion. It should force the inquiry to think more about you. It should force the inquiry to think more positively. It should incline the inquiry to know more about you, to talk further with you. So let's further analyze a value bomb. First of all, a value bomb is something which solves a problem of the customer. So value bomb must address one glaring problem statement of the customer, right? The second aspect of a value bomb is it should not only solve the problem of the customer, but it should solve the problem of the customer profitably. Because if you tell the customer that, look, I can supply you a raw material which will improve your yield. And the customer says, okay, but if it improves my yield by increasing my cost price, then what is the use of this? मजा तो तब है जब आप मेरे yield को बिना मेरी cost price को बढ़ाए हुए करिए, क्योंकि cost price बढ़ेगी तो मेरी profitability कम हो जाएगी. So the second aspect of a good value bomb is, do you solve a customer's problem profitably? Right? So if you look at the text here, value bomb should be able to exhibit how the customer's glaring problem can be solved in a way that it increases profitability of the customer. The third aspect of a value bomb is that it should solve problems sustainably in the long run. क्योंकि अगर आप किसी इंक्वायरी की प्रॉब्लम शॉर्ट टर्म में सॉल्व कर देते हो, प्रॉफिटेबली भी सॉल्व कर देते हो, बट लॉन्ग टर्म में अगर वो सस्टेन नहीं कर पाएगा, सो इट डजंट बिकम अ वैल्यू बॉम्ब, राइट? So 3 things that qualifies your response to be called as a value bomb. Number 1, it should solve a glaring problem of the customer. Glaring, छोटा मोटा नहीं, बहुत ही ज्वलंत प्रॉब्लम कस्टमर का सॉल्व कर रहा है. Number 1. Number 2, it should solve the problem profitably. And number 3, it should solve the problem profitably with a sustainability factor in the long run. All right, great. So if all of you have understood the 3 aspects of value bomb, just go to the chat box and write 3 for me, please. So I understand 3. All right, there's Mr. Trips. He says he's involved in Indian football marketing. That's very interesting, Mr. Trips. Indian football marketing. All right. So Baichung Latia is an output of your kind of marketing, maybe. All right. Okay, I get a 3 from Jahir, from Josefa, from Sezel. All right. Trips also gives me a 3. Great. Sezel is from Drishti Learning. Yes, Sezel, I know you are a part of my sales marathon. All right. Thank you, Sezel. You're welcome. Fantastic, guys. So अभी तक 2 चीजें clarify हुई हैं. The first thing that we have understood is we do get inquiries which after one response, the customer stops responding. The second thing we have learned is response stops coming because we have somewhere in our first communication kill the curiosity or fully satisfied the curiosity. In both the cases, you will not get a response. The third thing which we understood is there is something called value bomb, and there are three aspects to a value bomb. Fantastic. All right. I am slightly curious to know, maybe you have never heard this name of value bomb, but have you done something similar before in your life, in your sales life? Just give me that yes or no. Have you done something similar to a value bomb before? Maybe you didn't know the name value bomb, but अभी सुनने के बाद आपको समझ में आ गया कि क्या होता है. क्या आपने ऐसा कुछ किया है पहले? ऑलराइट, किया है, कुछ लोगों ने किया है. संजय अग्रवाल ने किया है, सेजल ने किया है, ट्रिप्स ने किया है. वंडरफुल, ग्रेट. Josefa has also done it. Fantastic, great, 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 wonderful, great. Now let me understand that how do you really create a value bomb? Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to share a template with all of you. And this template will guide you as to how you should construct your value bomb. Because conceptually, you might be working in the same direction, but if it is not constructed properly, it doesn't really create the feeling of value bomb in the minds of the customer. It just stays as a simple communication. Right? Great. So first thing, the way you construct your value bomb, and when I say construct, I mean the way you script your value bomb. Your value bomb should start with, what problem do I wish to solve for the customer? That's a question which you read in your mind. Don't write it on the paper. So read in your mind, what is the glaring problem that I wish to solve for my customer? And then your script says, I want to supply a raw material which will give a better yield to you. And I'm just taking an example, ladies and gentlemen, because this is an example of raw material, so it is applicable to a manufacturing unit. And I know that everyone in this room is not from manufacturing background, but doesn't matter. Just take it as an example. So if there's an incoming inquiry to me, and if I'm a manufacturer, I write there that, dear sir, we want to supply a raw material which will give a better yield to you. My first statement. Then my next statement, what question should it answer? My next statement should be, how will I solve this problem profitably? And how should my script move? So my script should move, we will show how you will invest. You see, we will show, suppose I'm a raw material supplier and I'm talking to a company which is Agarwal and Group. So I write there that we will show how for every 1 lakh of rupees invested in master batches, you will get a yield of rupees 1,80,000, wherein you make a profit of 80,000 for every 1 lakh of rupees that you invest into my raw material. Do you understand the mathematics that has been enrolled into the script there? And needless to say that your mathematics should not be very far from the truth. And then the third part of my value bomb, how will the client exhibit sustainability of profit? That's a question which gets into my mind, and my script runs like this, that if we take the last 3 months production pattern of yours, so if I'm talking to a customer called Agarwal and Company, so either I ask them for the last 3 months production, or I assume, because there are a lot of customers who will not share data with you. So I make an assumption that, let's assume that you make 1,000 tons of black master batch. In essence, I do a retrograde study and I analyze certain numbers and I try to post the sustainability of profits. Sounds very simple, isn't it? It's very easy, I'm sure. I want to take a break here and I am looking at the chat box. Each one of you is selling a product. Why don't you go ahead and create a value bomb based on the template which I have just shared with you vis-a-vis your product? Go ahead. I am going to give you the next 1 minute. Quickly craft a value bomb. Need not be grammatically correct, but then I just want to see whether you have followed the template which I have just shown you in creating the value bomb. Because I know a lot of sales managers who do create value bombs, but their value bombs are so big, so boring, and so lengthy that it loses the interest of the customer. It has to be razor sharp, it has to be to the point, and it should be pinpointing to the mind of the customer, right? Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just putting this discussion on hold because I'm gaping at the screen on the chat box, trying to see the first value bomb coming out of all of you participants who are live with me on YouTube and on Zoom right now. Yes, you're taking time. You're taking time. There are a lot of them who said that, okay, Jahir, you're writing a value bomb. I'm waiting for you. Okay. So, Sanjay Agarwal, you have just mentioned the first line, we can solve fish eyes usage in your film. Write all the 3 lines which I've given you in my template. So we can solve fish eyes issues in your film, in your current yield of rupees X investment in raw material. If there is 1 fish eye in 1 running meter, this is the loss that you're going to incur, like that. Please follow the template which I have given you. All right, Sanjay Agarwal, do you understand my query? Okay, there's some value bomb coming up from Josefa, all the way from Kuwait. We can help solving your summer cooling problem with our out-of-box technique with proven high return on investment. All right, Josefa, that's good for the first line. What about the second and third line? It's missing. I want a complete value bomb, Josefa. You know, on a lighter note, it's not good enough just to walk up to a girl and say, I love you. There are so many other things that you need to do before you actually convince the girl that you actually love her. So just 1 line of the template will not do the job. You got to put all the 3 lines together. Josefa, if you have understood me, can you quickly go and complete the value bomb which you have just posted on the chat box? Yes, I'm really grateful. This is super exciting. When I talk to people whom I don't know personally on this webinar on a weekly basis, every Wednesday, and I make some wonderful friends in this webinar when I talk to you at a practical level, one-on-one. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have come late today, we are talking about value bombs and how to use value bombs in soliciting a positive response from those inquiries which fail to respond to your communication to them. All right, Josefa is thinking, Sanjay Agarwal has posted his value bomb. This will translate in reducing fish eyes per meter by rupees X and will make profitability by rupees 2X. All right, that's a good attempt, Sanjay Agarwal. But I don't want X and Y from you. You are actually dealing with a product and you got to post real numbers, my friend. Right? So, Sanjay Agarwal, you understand what I'm trying to say. Just write a yes if you have understood and try to give me some factual statements there. That's where your value bomb will be complete. All right, fantastic. And Sanjay Agarwal, the third statement is still missing. Where is the third statement? All right, okay. So there was a very honest attempt from Sanjay Agarwal, from Josefa Khargonwala, and to some extent from Jahir Kashif. Others are still trying to figure out how to create a value bomb. Sazel, can you make a quick attempt on creating a value bomb right now? Sazel from Drishti Learning, can you make a quick attempt? All right, we have so many people in the room, but there are only 3 people who have made an attempt. Why are you shy to learn practically? All right, quick. I'm looking at your value bombs on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want the SaleskiPathshala to remain a theoretical program for you. So the more we do practically, as a group, we will learn together. Right, Sazel, by asking the right question. All right, Sazel, I know you have participated in Sales Marathon program. So you're making those statements, but today's program is about value bombs. And I would like to know from you, Sazel, that what is the first value bomb that you'll share with your customers? All right, Josefa Khargonwala coming up. We can help you in increasing your refinery throughout. I think you mean throughput there. So throughput by 10%, which will save 1 lakh USD. Fantastic. Wonderful, Josefa. The third statement is still missing, Josefa, and I'm sure go ahead and construct the third statement. So trips, the football market here. to reduce your TCO, that is total cost of ownership, I presume, by 12% by investing 6% of your budget in automation. All right. That sounds interesting, but you have made it a bit complex. And Tribs, you have not maintained the template which I shared with you. First, you write about the problem that you will solve, then you write about the profitability, then you write about the sustainability. All 3 lines in that sequence. All right, Jahir Kashif has come up with, we can solve part breakage and loss of production if you purchase compound from us of 1 lakh, if you'll have no break part, tuck, 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 tuck. Okay, great. Jahir, that's a good attempt. That's a good attempt. I will not say that's perfect, but you have understood the context. And I'm sure आप एकाग्र से बैठिएगा अलग से तो एक अच्छी value bomb बना पाइएगा. All right, Sanjay Agarwal also making desperate tries, man. That's very interesting, Sanjay Agarwal. I'm beginning to fall in love with you for the effort that you're making into this. Fantastic, wonderful, guys. Let's proceed. We are exactly 25 minutes into this program, remaining 35 minutes more. And by this time, we have understood 4 things. And a quick recap. The first thing we understood is there are inquiries in our life which fail to respond even after our repeated follow-up with them. The second thing which we learned was that if I kill the curiosity of the inquiry by my response, then I have consciously killed any further communication with the person. The third thing that we learned is what is a value bomb and how does it work for handling an incoming inquiry. इंटरवल हो गया दोस्तों आज के सेल्स की पाठशाला का. इंटरवल तक हम ये 3 चीज समझ पाए हैं. चूंकि इंटरवल हो गया है तो मुझे ये क्वेश्चन पूछना बहुत जायज है. आर यू एंजॉयिंग दिस प्रोग्राम? जस्ट गिव मी अ यस और नो. आर यू एंजॉयिंग दिस प्रोग्राम? Okay, Josefa says super. Okay. All right. Jahir is tired, so he says ENJ. All right. Sanjay Agarwal is enjoying. All right. Today there are 3-4 people who are really active and others are just about kind of sleeping. Kshitij for the first time. Yes. Okay. Kshitij has come for the first time. You're welcome, Kshitij. Neeraj Srivastava says ENJ. All right. Great. So now that all of you are enjoying and you have seen my colleague put a feedback form to all of you, can you scroll up and see a feedback form link posted by Mr. Charles, my colleague? At this interval, I request all of you to please remember to click on this link, not now, but at the end of the program. Why should you do it? You should do it because only those people who give me feedback on the program will be rewarded with a soft copy of today's presentation and also a soft copy, which is video copy of today's presentation. So if you want the PPT and the video copy of today's presentation, the minimum that I can ask you is for your honest feedback. So just scroll up on the chat box and there is a link posted by Mr. Charles. Click on that link or save that link, and at the end of the program, do remember to go to that link and give your precious feedback. All right, good. So let's move forward. Now that we have understood what is a value bomb, we need to understand that there are 3 kinds of value bombs. And I will show you the flow chart down the line, but you need to understand that सिर्फ एक value bomb देने से हर ग्राहक को मोहित नहीं कर सकते. I cannot suitably attract every inquiry just by virtue of one value bomb. The psyche of the customer is controlled with 3 value bombs. तो दोस्तों जब मैं किसी इंक्वायरी को रिस्पॉन्ड करता हूं तो कुछ लोग बिना वैल्यू बॉम्ब के रिस्पॉन्ड कर लेते हैं, कुछ लोग फर्स्ट वैल्यू बॉम्ब के बाद रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं, कुछ लोग सेकंड वैल्यू बॉम्ब और कुछ लोग थर्ड वैल्यू बॉम्ब के बाद रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं. जो थर्ड वैल्यू बॉम्ब के बाद भी रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करता मैं उसको छोड़ देता हूं. ऑलराइट, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर these 3 value bombs, and I'm talking about these 3 value bombs in a very generic sense. So the first value bomb normally deals with yield. For those of you who belong to the service industry, you can replace the word yield by performance. Like Cecil, you're from Drishti Learning. So Drishti Learning, there's nothing called yield, but you have something called performance. Now, yield as a value bomb has got 4 components. If you look at the smaller letters there, so quantity of production, quality of production, wastage, and time taken. If you weave a necklace out of these four concepts and arrive at a yield, you would have suitably prepared value bomb number 1. Coming to value bomb number 2, which talks about consistency. Now, consistency could be batch to batch consistency, lot to lot consistency, season to season consistency. कुछ raw material जो है in rainy season because of humidity they become different. In summer season because of no humidity it becomes different. And there are some raw materials which changes from product to product. So the same raw material will have a great performance in one product, will have a horrible performance in another product. So when I talk about consistency, these are the 4 aspects that you have to weave together into a necklace and create value bomb number 2. Value bomb number 3 talks about selling price. It talks about how better quality of output, not input. So if you are supplying master batch to an injection molding industry, then the cost, and the injection molding industry is making plastic chairs, then I'm talking about the selling price of the plastic chair and not the selling price of master batch. I hope you understand. And I'm taking a lot of examples of master batch here because I have a lot of people in today's class who belong to one company called JJ Plast, and hence I'm taking a lot of example of production and master batches. Nothing to do with them specifically. These are just example, friends. So better quality will fetch better price for the customer. Better consistency will also fetch better price. And definitely a faster production will reduce your cost price. If it reduces your cost price, it increases your profitability, then definitely that tantamounts to a better selling price. Now, I have said a lot of things in these 3 value bombs, and I quickly want to go to the chat box and understand, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, there's a bit of monitoring there. Sejal from Drishti Learning is trying to monitor Neha and Shweta. Pay attention. Sejal, please be only a student in this class. I am the only monitor, so don't disturb my students, please. Thank you so much. All right, I'm putting my attention on the chat box, trying to understand, do you have any questions on the 3 value bombs which I have just discussed with you? The first value bomb deals with the yield. The second value bomb deals with consistency. The third value bomb deals with selling price. All right, Kshitij says no, he doesn't have any question. All right, Kshitij, what industry are you from? Can you quickly write in the chat box? Are you Kshitij Agarwal from Nagpur? Okay, I'm just conjecturing. No, you're not Kshitij Agarwal from Nagpur. Okay, what industry do you belong to, Kshitij? You said service industry, but which kind of service? All right. Okay. Thank you so much for all your responses there. Let's quickly move on. What is the time now? We have 25 minutes left. All right. A lot of things to cover. Ladies and gentlemen, on the screen, I present to you a flow chart. थोड़ा सा font size छोटा है, but अगर नहीं दिख रहा है तो मुझे बताइए. यहाँ से चालू करते हैं. Just follow my cursor and you'll understand what I'm trying to show. So there is an incoming inquiry here. Can you see my cursor? Go to the chat box and write yes. Just write a Y. Can you see my cursor? Can you see my cursor on the screen? Yes or no? Yes. All right. Everyone can see my cursor. Thank you very much. So this is where I am. There is an incoming inquiry. Now, the moment there is an incoming inquiry, either 1 second, please hold on. So once there is this incoming inquiry, you make a first communication to the inquiry. Okay. And when you make a first communication, you will continuously find CTA there. That is call to action. मैं इसके ऊपर थोड़ी देर बाद आता हूँ. अभी आप CTA को सिर्फ call to action समझ के लीजिए. So incoming inquiry आई, आपने एक first communication किया, जो कि normally आप करते हो. और शुरुआत में we have read that the first communication should not kill the curiosity of the customer, should not satisfy totally the curiosity of the customer, should retain curiosity. Okay, fantastic. Once you make a good first communication, you will have few people who will respond to you. So you can see it bifurcates: response received and response not received. Now, needless to say, the ones who have responded positively to you, you take ahead the communication through a need analysis discussion, through a structured KYC, which is know your customer form. Interesting is most of the people do not respond. Now, those people who have not responded to you, they have to be fed the value bomb number 1. Interesting, isn't it? And what is this value bomb number 1? What is the value bomb number 1? On the chat box, please. We just read about 3 value bombs, ladies and gentlemen. What is value bomb number 1? What does it deal with? Yes, Josefa, you have hit it on the nail. It deals with the yield. So you need to construct a value bomb around yield and serve it to all those people who have not responded to your first communication. The moment you do this, again, few people will respond. And the ones who respond, you need to go ahead with need analysis through a KYC. But the ones who do not respond, and there's always only 5% who respond and 95% who do not respond. So the ones who do not respond, what are you going to do with them? You're going to pull out value bomb number 2 from your arsenal and post it to those who have not responded. On the chat box, what is value bomb number 2? What is value bomb number 2? Okay. So Kshitij says performance, Jahir says consistency. All right. So Kshitij, performance is equivalent to yield. So normally performance talks about service industry and yield is in the manufacturing industry, which is value bomb number 1. So full points to Jahir, Josefa, Sanjay Agarwal. Now Kshitij, who says that consistency is the value bomb number 2. Remember कि हमें सिर्फ consistency word लिख के नहीं भेजना है. Consistency word के इर्द गिर्द जो मैंने टेम्पलेट आपको दिखाए थे, जिसके 3 पायदान हैं, उस 3 पायदान को यूज करके आपको एक वैल्यू बॉम्ब बनानी है. And now you serve value bomb number 2. Boom! There's an explosion expected in the minds of the customer. When you serve value bomb number 1, I expect only 5% response. When you serve value bomb number 2, I expect 30% response. And when I serve value bomb number 3, I expect another 30% response. तो देखिए mathematics कैसे चलेगी? If we have started with 100 inquiries, the first communication will get me 1% response. So I'll get 1 response, remaining 99. When I serve value bomb number 1, I'll get 5% response. 5% of what? 5% of 99, which makes it around 4. Then I'm left with 95 and in the value bomb number 2, I get 30% of 95. How much is 30% of 95? Around 27, 28. And how much am I remaining with? Around 65. I again get 40% of 65, which is around 12. So I will get around 50% response. I will still have around 35, 40 people who will not respond to me. Even after using value bomb number 1, 2, and 3, I will be able to garner around 55, 60% response. And the mathematics of that I have shared with you very clearly. First response will give you 1% response. Value bomb number 1 will give you 5% response. Value bomb number 2 will give you 30% response, and value bomb number 3 will give you 40% response. In all, mathematically, this translates to around 55% response. So if I get 100 inquiries, I'll be able to convert them into 55 leads. Do you find this interesting? Whenever I talk about this, I'm super excited. I feel I want to get out of my chair and start dancing, because अभी तक क्या हो रहा था? अभी तक 1% response मुझे मिल रही थी. आज बताए हुए value bombs को आप follow करेंगे, 55% response मिलने लगेगा. 100% अभी भी नहीं हुआ है, but do you think this excites you? Do you find this exciting? Please go and write exciting in the chat box. Do you find this exciting? Just go and write exciting in the chat box. Okay, Agarwal says, no, it's interesting. It's not exciting. Okay, Josefa, exciting. All right. Okay, cool. I'm waiting for a response from others. There are a lot of them in the room today. They're not responding. All right. Neeraj, Shweta Mutha, Neha, Jahish. These people are not responding at all. Vaibhav, why are you sitting so quiet? Let's have your response, man. Exciting. All right. Okay. People are now coming up with exciting. Is this flow chart very clearly like an infrared burned into your memory? Please go home today and burn this into your memory, because if you're very clear about what is happening, then you do not look at your work of sales emotionally. You start looking at it scientifically. And then you have people like me to help you out in making a better value bomb, to help you out in increasing those percentages that I spoke about and move from one step to another. Okay, great. Now let's move to the second aspect, because if you see in this flow chart, with every communication, we are writing CTA, 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 CTA everywhere. So definitely call to action also has a very important role to play in detonating the value bomb. Okay, what is call to action? So call to action triggers value bomb. You know, value bomb, अगर आप दिवाली के फटाके की तरह लें, तो कॉल टू एक्शन वो आग है जो इस बॉम्ब को फोड़ेगा. अगर वो आग नहीं लगेगी तो वैल्यू बॉम्ब जाके कस्टमर के दिमाग में बैठ जाएगा, और कस्टमर बाय डिफॉल्ट इज अ लेजी पर्सन, ही विल नॉट रिस्पॉन्ड और ही विल नॉट एक्ट ऑन टाइम. Call to action is the trigger which detonates a value bomb. Interesting, isn't it? Now let's first understand what are the three important aspects of a call to action. Every good call to action must create a sense of urgency in the mind of the customer. तो आपने इसके पहले देखा होगा कि 2 तारीख के पहले जो लोग आएंगे उनको अर्ली बर्ड ऑफर मिलेगी. If you join our program before the 20th of December, you are going to get a 20% discount, and so on and so forth. These are statements which creates urgency in the mind of the customer, and they are also a kind of call to action. Now, many of you might be wondering that, hey, Sanjay, I'm not into retail selling. So, ये सब जो बहुत ही चिल्लर call to action है, ये हमारे बिजनेस में नहीं चलेगा. I agree, नहीं चलेगा. बट सवाल ये है कि क्या आपने खुद को पूछा है कि आपके बिजनेस में क्या कॉल टू एक्शन चलेगा? क्योंकि कॉल टू एक्शन नहीं होगा तो वैल्यू बॉम्ब डिटोनेट नहीं होगी. द वैल्यू बॉम्ब विल नॉट एक्सप्लोड. सो हाउ डू यू क्रिएट अर्जेंसी? हाउ डू यू मेंटेन रेलिवेंस? बिकॉज योर कॉल टू एक्शन मस्ट बी रेलिवेंट एंड कोहेरेंट. मान लीजिए कि आप किसी कंपनी से बात कर रहे हैं जिसका फाइनेंशियल ईयर एंडिंग 31 दिसंबर को है, और उनको आप वैल्यू कॉल टू एक्शन में लिखते हैं दैट प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड बिफोर 31st March so that you can do it in this financial year. Now I'm a multinational company and my year ending is on 31st December, so 31st March doesn't trigger any action in my mind. You understand what is the meaning of relevance and coherence? And third, your call to action should give a sizable benefit. ऊंट के मुंह में जीरा नहीं होना चाहिए. So if you are giving, suppose if you tell a company with a turnover of 1,000 crores that I'm going to save 1,000 rupees for you if you are able to take an action tomorrow, the person will say, hey, what's 1,000 rupees and why the hell should I even bother? Right? So the CTA must post a financial advantage which is sizable. I agree कि हर समय तीनों चीजों को CTA में डालना संभव नहीं होता है. But it is ideal, it is desirable. A good CTA should have all these 3 triggers. Now, let me quickly, what's the time? Okay, we still have 17 more minutes. Good enough time to understand some examples of CTA. So, इसके पहले हम 3 value bomb की बात किए हैं. Value bomb number 1, which is to do with yield. Value bomb number 2, which is to do with consistency. And value bomb number 3, which is to do with selling price. I'm trying to take an example of a production house, and I've tried to script the CTA so that you can have a live example of what I'm talking about. So along with my value bomb number 1, if I take you to the flow chart, my value bomb number 1, there is a CTA. And that is the CTA which I'm talking about. What should be the CTA? So I write there, we will help you conduct a process audit to ensure an incremental yield if we receive your response before so and so date. Do you think it will cut ice with your customer? Do you think something like this can be helpful to your customer? All those of you who are into production, please go into the chat box and write a yes or no. Yep, I'm waiting for your answer on the chat box. All right, okay, I get some yes there. Well, some of you are thinking, some of you have said yes. Okay, wonderful, great. So I go to my value bomb number 2. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to share live examples with all of you so that you are able to connect. Some of you who do not belong to this industry, don't feel disillusioned. You got to create a value bomb with the help of these statements, which is relevant for your industry. So value bomb number 2 is consistency. The CTA here would be on receipt of your interest before so-and-so date. We will share an ebook on how consistency of raw material creates a sustainable profitability for the manufacturer. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So as a supplier of raw material, I create a nice ebook and I'll try to write in that ebook as to how consistency of raw material ensures a better yield for your manufacturers. And it's a carrot and stick game, right? No, not stick. It's just a carrot game. So you're trying to hang a carrot in front of the customer and trying to tell the customer that, hey, darling, if you love me, please respond so that I can share the small gift with you. All right. Okay, I can see a laugh there from on the chat box. Grand, wonderful. Value bomb number 3. Please mute, please mute. Okay, someone please mute. I think, okay, I'm not able to hear your sound, but let me just, okay. So I hope there's no problem there. So Mr. Dhananjay, please mute yourself. All right. Okay, cool. Wonderful. Is the room clean and quiet now, Kshitij, or is there still some disturbance? I can't hear, but I'm holding a mic here and the sound is not coming to me. Kshitij, is the room clean and nice? There's no sound there in the background? Can you write yes in the chat box, please? There is sound. We can't hear. We can't hear. Oh, okay. Guys, can I request all of you to please go on mute? Okay, cool. Sanjay Agarwal, can you please confirm whether my voice is coming clearly or not? Just write a yes or no, please. Perfect now. All right. Thank you very much there. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen who are not on mute, please go on mute because I'm not able to get your sound and others are getting disturbed. So value bomb number 3, CTA, once we receive your interest in your proposal before so-and-so date, we will share a free ticket with you to participate in a webinar with experts from the industry. Quickly, I will share these CTAs with you. So there are 3 broad categories of CTAs. The first category of CTAs is what I call online CTAs. So you can share a free webinar ticket with your customer. You can share some curated videos with your customer. You can share some curated blogs or testimonials with your customers. Those are some live examples of online CTAs. You have some knowledge-based CTAs, which are like ebooks, newsletters, white papers, case studies. Many of you who follow me very closely on social media, you would have seen that from time to time, actually once in every 15 days, I give an ebook free of cost to many of you who follow me. How many of you have gone through my ebooks before? Can you go and write yes on the chat box? How many of you have gone through my free ebooks? Okay, Josefa has not got it, but maybe Josefa, you follow me on the social media, very soon you'll get one. What about others? Kshitij has seen some. All right, Kshitij has seen some. All right, very good. So some of you have got them, some of you have not got them. The ones who have not got them, I can only advise you to start following me on social media, and upon every fortnight, you will get something free from my side. All right, so those are examples of knowledge-based CTAs, and then you have service-based CTAs, which could be a free audit or a free sample or a free survey or free troubleshooting. I hope you understand what I mean by CTA. And if you look at the flow chart, you will understand the importance of value bomb vis-a-vis CTA. There are some people whose value bombs are great, but whose CTA is not great enough. It will not work. There are some people whose CTA is great, but value bomb is not good enough. It will not work. Both the value bomb and CTA has to be great for it to have a positive response from the customer. If you have understood what is a CTA, just write CTA. And I know that you have understood what is a CTA. Call to action. Just write CTA. Call to action. You have understood what is a CTA? All right. Today, Sanjay Agarwal and Jahir and Kshitij and Josefa, these are guys who are very active today, right from the beginning of the program. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. So we have 9 more minutes into the program today. 9 more minutes. We have understood what is a value bomb. We have understood what is a CTA. We have understood the mathematics behind value bombs and CTA. So I just want to quickly share this small piece of data with you. So there has been a research with a lot of sales managers. So there were some sales managers who were not using value bombs, and there were some sales managers. So when you don't use a value bomb, you actually use arguments. So there are sales managers who argue that my product is very good and my product has done very well in the past, but they don't use value bombs. So research shows that sales managers who argued positively with the client closed 24% cases. And sales managers who use value bombs in response to customers' question, they close 77% cases. There is no tool that can ensure 100% closings. So that's the fact of sales. Nothing in this world can close 100%. But if you make use of value bombs, you will be in the 77% bracket of closures. When you use only arguments, and I'm using the word positive arguments. So I don't mean useless debate. So even if you use positive arguments with all your knowledge, with all your energy and enthusiasm, you will still not be able to close more than 24% cases. But when you use a value bomb, you'll be able to close 77% cases. And when close, I mean soliciting response. All right. Do you find that piece of data valuable? Just write valuable for me on the chat box, please. Do you find it valuable? Valuable, yeah? Okay, my colleague Charles has posted the feedback link once again so that you do not forget to post your link. Feedback. All right, do you find this valuable? So I get a lot of response. Sanjay Agarwal, Neha, Suvishal, Kshitij, 531254. I don't know, that is KD number 531254. Guy, please write your name there. All right, you find it valuable. Fantastic. So now that you have understood this, and we are towards the end of today's program, I want to make a special offer to you. What is the special offer? Create 3 value bombs for any product of yours. So each one of you must be handling multiple products. So from those of you who are from JJ Plus, Master Batch is not a product, it's a category. So under Master Batch, you have injection molding Master Batch, you have black Master Batch, you have white Master Batch. Even within black Master Batch, you have black Master Batch with UV, without UV, and so on and so forth. So each of those small elements is a product. And for each such product, create 3 value bombs. And go to my LinkedIn account. This is my LinkedIn account, linkedin.com/Sanjay for Sales. If you are not following me already, first give me a friend request and I'll accept it promptly. Once I have accepted your friend request, go to my LinkedIn account and post your value bomb there. So what should you write there? You should write there that, Sanjay, I'm happy to have participated in your SaleskiPathshala on so-and-so date. And as instructed, I'm sharing my value bombs with you. And ladies and gentlemen, the moment you do that on my LinkedIn account or value bomb, free of cost. I will correct them for you. I'll validate them for you. I will try to suggest improvements in them. So in that process, you have contributed to my social media and I would have contributed to your value bomb. I think that's a fair deal. So ladies and gentlemen, as we are only 4 minutes left into the program today, that's a special offer for you. And you can note down my credentials. So my latitudes are, these are my numbers, email IDs, and my social media hashtags. You could note them and you'll get all of that into the PPT, which we are going to share with you the moment you are going to share your valuable feedback with us. So I have removed the sound barrier now. So you're all audible to me. Till now you were not audible to me. I request you to now go and put your videos on. We have 3 more minutes into the program. So you can put your videos on and we can quickly have a round of question answers if you have any. Or if you have any observation to make, you can make that observation now at this juncture of the program. On behalf of my team here at Strategic Concepts India Private Limited, I would like to inform all those of you who have come here for the first time, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m., we are live at Zoom and on YouTube. Right now, towards the end of the year, ever since Diwali, we are running all these programs absolutely free of cost. These are normally not free. So please remember to tune in to our channels on every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. SaleskiPathshala comes to you every week with a new topic on sales. So that was just a bit of a commercial break, guys. We are towards the end of the program. Please put your videos on. Please put your videos on. And let's have a very, you can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself, please. Please unmute yourself. Put your videos on. And let's hear your feedback on today's program and any suggestions if you have on today's program. Right. There are some people who are first time into today's program. So let's hear from them first. Josefa Khargonwala, this is the first time we are having you on SaleskiPathshala. You're welcome. Please give a quick introduction of yourself and your valuable comments on today's program. Yes, Josefa.
Hello, Mr. Sanjay. Thank you very much for today's very interesting session. It was very superb, and we learned a lot of things. Myself, well, I'm basically from Bombay. I'm a mechanical engineer and working in Middle East since last 12 years. I'm in sales since last 12 years. So my comments on your today's webinar is, as again, it was very nice. It was, but I think because I understand it was a 1 hour session, so you were going a bit faster. So, but anyway, we got all your points, and I have some doubts, and I will check on those doubts later on. Thank you once again.
You're most welcome. You've got my email ID. Just send an email to me, and it's my duty to respond to you to satisfy all your queries. Thank you very much, Jose, for that.
Thank you.
Kshitij, you're also first time on my program. At least first time I'm noticing you. So
Yeah.
your small introduction and quick comments.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Sanjay, for a wonderful session. This is first time I'm hearing out. I can see multiple sessions in my WhatsApp message as well. But this is first time I'm just joining. Due to the time constraint, I could not join. But this time, I definitely tried to manage, and I joined at sharp time. So it was pleasure session, and basically I'm from Crowdera. Crowdera is a fintech platform. Rather, it is for
Yeah, I
fundraising.
understand Crowdera. Chet Jain, right?
Yes, Chet, I know.
Okay.
So, Chet and I'm one of the directors in the Crowderas too, and just would like to attend that particular thing.
All right, good, Kshitij. Give my hello to Chet. Is he in India these days?
Yes, he is very much in India and flying in Singapore next month.
All right, very good. I can also see a Shweta Mutha there. Shweta, From Drishti Learning, Shweta, quick comments from your side, please.
Identity, a company uses defined by
Shweta refuses to put her video on. Rama Subramaniam, how are you, my friend? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Sanjay. Yeah, I'm fine. Absolutely fine. It was a very nice.
Value bombs is applicable in your industry, and do you think it is going to be helpful for you?
Yeah, it certainly is. Certainly is a very helpful. This thing, what you just like said. Although I was a little bit late in joining your program because I was actually visit to the customer, so I had to take some time to
All
quickly.
right. For all those of you who love the word sales, please block your calendar every week, 4 to 5
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah, I
SaleskiPathshala.
certainly remembered that you had a program today, so I immediately joined it.
All right. Very good, Rama.
Nice
Sanjay,
to-
do you want to say something?
No, sir. Every point is very clear and very interesting and exciting. That's what.
All right, guys. We are on time, bang at 5 p.m. Thank you very much for having taken out your time to join in today's SaleskiPathshala. Remember to tune in into this channel every week, Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. We are also live on YouTube, and some weeks we are live on Instagram as well. Please go to LinkedIn and post your valuable comments, whatever you have said here that is going to be useful for me on my LinkedIn profile. For now, I wish goodbye to you. Have a great week ahead and keep yourself safe and sound.